Midterm nightmares. I'm having them, and I don't like them. This is Law and Society. Please subscribe. All the hopeful people who want to see a leadership change in Congress this November need to stop with all the hope and stay focused on the work. And I don't mean that by denigrating hope. I think we should have hope, but we should focus on the work. Every win where Democrats win seats in districts Trump won in 2024 brings us closer to reviving our republic. But please don't jinx it. Please. I'm so superstitious about this that I won't even look at the polls or full-heartedly celebrate the Democratic gains in elected office on any level. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want people to get complacent, think somebody else will vote, and since we are ahead, what's the vote? What's our vote really going to do? That is the sort of thought that gives me nightmares. Because Republicans aren't going to sit on their hands if they see a real threat to their political futures. And you see that in Donald Trump's actions. Donald Trump is doing everything he can to corrupt elections in states that he thinks that Republicans will lose in 2026. And yes, those are states, even in his districts, that it's likely that Democrats will win. But expect them, Republicans, because of what is happening now with the special midterms, expect them to turn out in large numbers. Expect everything that could go wrong does go wrong. Our objective must be to win despite all the things that go wrong. We have to be foolproof. We have to be focused, committed, and unmoved by the major wins that we have thus far enjoyed in special elections. They don't mean anything until we sweep the midterms and restore Congress to a functional condition. But let me clarify. These wins actually do mean a great deal to the constituents, to the growing Democratic coalition, but they are big fish in little ponds. The midterms is about catching as big a whale as possible in the ocean. And I wish this weren't about party. But we have only two parties, and even if you fall on the fringes of those parties and identify with a lot of things from the other party, you have to sort of pick one side or another if you are to have any sort of political career or influence or political will to get things done. That's why we have these two parties. One of them, the Republicans, are burning down our republic for the sake of one God King. Democrats have to get in the way, smother the flame, and give it no more oxygen. Douse it with a tidal wave of Americans who want to return to decency and the rule of law. I strongly believe that there are more decent Americans than those who hate and divide. We have to show up. Register to vote, register others, take them with you to vote, know your rights. Federal agents cannot stop you from voting. Only state and local law enforcement has the authority to police voting locations. If voter ID law like the SAVE Act passes on a federal level, get your voter IDs and your state and federal IDs, and even get a copy of your birth certificate if you're born in the United States and don't have a passport. Then get a birth certificate, copy of a birth certificate from the hospital if you know where you were born. That qualifies as proof of citizenship. Don't give them a chance to turn you away. Even at that point, federal agents do not have policing power over federal election law. That policing power still stays with the state and local police, because taking away a state's policing power is a violation of the 10th Amendment, because the Constitution does not vest the power to the federal government to police the states, and therefore that power is constitutionally left for the states and cannot be deprived without a constitutional amendment. And that applies in cases of federal election law, where it is enforced by the states. especially in the context of elections. Presidents have no role. The executive branch of our federal government has no role in elections, especially presidential and federal elections. Do not let federal agents or even our military intimidate you. They work for us. Remember that. Don't rub that in their faces. Do your duty and leave the polls without any interaction with anybody other than those administering the vote. Why am I being this methodical and instructive? Because I have nightmares about this. I have nightmares that Democrats will get complacent before the elections because we are winning in the special elections with such massive margins. Don't be the hare. Be the tortoise. Keep your heads down and keep walking until after election day. Then, if we pull off what many are speculating, we can celebrate and make plans to push Congress to redress our grievances. That is when we can belt out "Long Live America" and "God Bless America." I'll wait for that day quietly, determinatively, superstitiously, and I will not jinx it. So do your best not to jinx it. Stay energized. Keep the momentum up. We need to be able to bring this game in November, not just in special elections. And we need to focus and be aware of that. With that said, thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.